Hey everybody, it's Dominic here. How are you? It's the Profit Tool Belt podcast. Today, we're doing Millionaire time management tips and tricks. And I know we already did this in episode 61, but this is the no BS version. So, a reminder to my writer and my admin person, this is going to be an explicit episode because I'm probably going to be dropping some words we don't normally use. So for those of you listening that like to listen to this podcast in the car, in the truck, with kids, you don't want to have your kids listen to this. I don't know what kind of spices I'm going to add to this conversation, but quite frankly, I'm frustrated. And I'm frustrated because from the last episode, I had a lot of people give me excuses. I don't like excuses. I don't like excuses because they're BS, and you're full of crap if you're trying to pull them on. So that's the intro to our episode today. Don't be full of crap. I'm going to talk to you about time management from a millionaire's perspective, from a construction and contracting millionaire's perspective. Now, for those of you who don't like moderate cussing words and who think that I have low moral character for using them, I apologize. Today we're going to be using them like spices. We're going to be having a little bit of fun with it. I just really want to punctuate the language so you understand and I don't come across as polite and understanding as maybe I did in that other episode, because I'm not. I'm not, and I'll tell you why. How you manage your time is how you manage yourself. It's how you manage your company. It's how you manage your projects. So today, we're going to be a little different in this episode. So Connor, Jara, please make sure this episode is marked explicit so that people understand that. And I'm not going to get crazy. I mean, I can get crazy. Trust me. I can make Scarface blush. But we're not going to do that today. There's no need for that. I'm just going to add a little bit of spice here and there, I think. If it comes up, I will. It's not scripted in. By the way, I do have a script for this because there are some points that I wanted to catch that I think I missed in that other episode. And when I started getting mealy-mouthed excuses, by the way, nothing but excuses from people from that last episode, I thought, hey, we got to stop this right now. If you're listening to this show, I want you to get the real goods. And maybe you didn't get the real goods from the last one. So the first one is take your time seriously. I need you to take your time seriously. You have to decide to be in control of your time, because if you're not, what you've decided is that everybody else is in control of your time. So there's only one choice to make here. Are you in control of your schedule, or are you letting everybody else be in control of your schedule? Nobody else is going to decide this for you. Nobody's going to make you in charge. You got to be in charge. There is a decision you have to make when you're the leader of a company, and that decision is to be the leader of the company. Come on. You're in charge. So when you're in charge, lead. Show your team what it means to be on time. Show your team that time means something. And you know, the way that shows up on the job site is that your guys, your crew, your people, they finish jobs on time. They think about how much time a job takes. At least it's in the language of everybody in your company. You know, it's your job to bring that culture to life. So if you're sloppy with time, they're going to be sloppy with time. If they're sloppy with time, you're going to have a tough time being profitable. And you're listening to this show because you want to be profitable. I mean, come on. You work hard enough. Why would you let the cork out of the bathtub at the very end by not just fixing the one thing that needs to be fixed? It's your decision. It's your choice. Do it. So make sure you take your time seriously, okay? If you don't control your time, you're letting everybody else do it. Number 2, work on a schedule you've created. Okay, so work on a schedule that you created. It's called running your business on purpose, my friend. So run this business on purpose. Don't just get up and go through your day the same way you friggin' go through it all the time. Run it on purpose. Think about what you want. Lay out your day in advance. You know, I like coffee. I love coffee. Part of my morning routine is to get a coffee, and then I write out my goals, my affirmations, and my action items. I write that out every day. I want to say every day. On a 5-day week, I probably do it 3 to 4 days. And the days that I miss, I kind of hate myself, to be honest, because I know I'm not operating at my best. I'm not operating. For those of you who are watching this as a video, here it is, right here. You can see it on my screen. Boom, right there. That's what I have written. Oop, this page here. I write it every single day. These are the things that are important to me, the goals that I want to hit and the things that I need to do. And from those goals, I create my daily schedule. I create the things that have to be done. I have a block schedule, which we're going to talk about in a second, but I have to run myself like I'm a business before I can go out and help others run my business for me. Okay, so if you do want to be a construction millionaire, if you want to be a contractor who's really in charge of things, I'm just going to ask you to take on a couple of extra tasks. Really not about working harder. It's about working smarter. It's about working smarter. Do a couple things differently than everybody else around you does. Remember, when you look at the world around you, you're not looking at a world of leaders. You're looking at a world of followers. When you're listening to this show, this is a leadership show. This is the show, and all the people here, and by the way, if you're a member of the Facebook group called Contractor Strategy Group, join it if you want, but that's a group of leaders, not followers. We think different, we act different, we talk different, we do different things. So if you're not getting the motivation by looking at the world around you, then change who you're hanging out with. Come and join Contractor Strategy Group on Facebook. You don't have to post every day, but at least have it in the background so when you're scrolling through, maybe you're sitting on a can, I don't know where you are, but when you're finally scrolling through your phone, you got a minute to yourself, join a group of leaders. Think differently, but don't look at the world you see around you as you're driving through traffic or going into the shop and think that's normal. It's not. You're not normal. You're a leader. So act like one. A leader takes charge of their life and makes sure that they're proactive about where they're going. You see why? Maybe it's not explicit. Maybe I'm just yelling a bit more today. But anyways, I say this with all the love in my heart. I really care. Like I want you to have what you want to have. And the only person that can let you have what you want is you, right? I'm just here to maybe shine a light. As one of my mentors said, a gentleman named Cam Fraser. Campbell Fraser, one of the best mentors in my entire life. A wise, quiet man who could rip off my head with one single bite. And he chose not to. I always knew he had that power, though. He was partners with a guy named Brian Tracy. Brian Tracy, many of you know, is the author of numerous business improvement books, sales and marketing books. Brian and Cam were partners. Cam was my mentor. I was very fortunate to work directly with him and Brian Tracy and Robert Kiyosaki and a number of other people. Some of you will recognize. But what Cam would say is, Dom, I'm here to hold up a mirror of accountability. And so that's what he would do in our conversations. I'd be saying something and he'd know I was spinning a line of BS, line of crap, and he would literally hold up that mirror of accountability. And sometimes he'd actually even hold up his hand and move it slightly side to side. And I knew I was in for a world of hurt. He was going to shine his shoe on my butt because I'd said something or thought something in a small-minded way. Let me come back to the point here. The point is, work on a schedule you have created. In the last episode, you heard me talk about block scheduling. It's cheap. Like, I'm not talking about you spending extra money. I'm talking about you investing in the inventory of your mind, in your friggin' head. Go online, print out a week at a glance calendar. Print it out. Draw on it. Don't worry about the dates at the top. Those are irrelevant. All you want to see is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And you want to see it broken down into at least 1 hour blocks. If you really want to do this, have it broken into 15-minute blocks, right? So it'll say 7, 7:15, 7:30, 7:45, 8 o'clock, etc. Break your day into those 15-minute chunks and then put down on that calendar what you want your life to look like. I'm not going to do it. Let's be clear. I'm not doing it. You're doing it. And you're doing it because it's for you. It's your life. You might think, well, Dom, I can't work to a preset schedule. Things change all the time. Yeah, that's a load of crap. You're full of BS. Don't tell me time management won't work for me, Dom. It doesn't work in the mold remediation industry. It doesn't work for those of us who do siding or electrical. Or, Dom, we do service work, so we're very reactive. Ah, crap. What are you talking about? Here's the block schedule you already have. You get up at 6 in the morning. You get to work by 7. You take lunch sometime around noon. You try to be off at 5. There's 4 items that are already on your block schedule. Take those things that I just said, get up, get to office, have lunch, go for coffee, end day, and put those on your block schedule. Just write them in pencil. Now, I think we're all sharing the same joke here. I haven't had a coffee break or a formal lunch break for the last 30 years, ever since I decided to become a business professional, and you're probably the same. But at the very least, I know that time is there, and that's what I want to express to you. It's what I want you to understand. You can fill in things on the block schedule that start to make it look like sense, right? Let's just use lunchtime as an example. I'm sure you don't take lunch, but put it down. So we already know from 12 till 1, you're off for lunch. So put that in your calendar. What does that do? Well, if you have an assistant, he or she knows not to book you during lunchtime. It's your decision to book appointments during lunch. I book appointments during lunch all the time. I'm still not losing weight, so clearly I'm still eating. But Come on, you already know your block schedule. So please don't feed me a line of crap that says your business, your industry, the way you do things doesn't let you manage your schedule. Unless you manage your schedule, nobody else is going to do it for you. Okay? So use the block calendar method to do that. Write it on a piece of paper and then have it in front of you. And then, of course, transfer that to your, if you use a phone, because it's the year 2000 plus, it's either 2020, 2021, maybe the year 2022 when you're listening to this, you have a calendar on your phone. Use that calendar. We'll get to that later. You can actually only use one calendar at a time. So Outlook calendar, Google calendar, whatever it is you use, I don't care. Choose one you like and stick to it religiously, like it's your new best friend, stuck to you. That phone's in your hand all the time anyways. It's not hard. Put those block calendar elements in your calendar on your phone, and you'll always know what's going on, and you can be in control of your schedule. All right, here's the next point. Choose your calendar. Use your calendar. So here's the very simple rule. You can only have one calendar. So if you have a calendar on paper, keep with that. That's the only place you can have a calendar. If you're using Outlook, that's the only place you can have your calendar. If you're using Google Calendar, that's the only calendar you can use. If you try to use two calendars, you might as well buy a bullet and rent a gun. It ain't gonna work. Choose one calendar. Just choose one and use that calendar, right? Construction millionaires manage their time to the nth degree. Be that person. Be that woman, be that guy, be that leader, be that boss. Time is important. So choose your calendar, choose one calendar, and then use that calendar. I can't tell you how many times people that work with me say, hey, Dom, what time are we meeting next week? It's in the calendar. And of course, I'm very polite. Well, let's go check the calendar. What does the calendar say? Oh, yeah. Well, the calendar says we meet every Tuesday at 2 o'clock. So next Tuesday at 2 o'clock. Come on. The answer's in there. You know what time we meet. Use your calendar as a default. It allows you to be proactive about your life and about your business. And then, you know, the spillover effect. The spillover effect is that your team sees you being proactive about the calendar, and they take time management seriously as well. Do you have a company where nobody has a sense of urgency about getting stuff done? Like you need a report done or you need somebody to print something off, and there's just no sense of urgency. It's very mañana. It's very island time. Everything happens when it happens, but there's no urgency. I will tell you the reason why. It's you. You have not built a sense of urgency in the company. Let me change that. If I don't have a sense of urgency in my company, with my team, my staff, my employees, the people that work for me, my accountant who's on contract, my lawyer who's on contract, I haven't built that sense of urgency. How many times have I had business owners tell me, when, you know, I'll say, hey, when do you get your tax returns back? They're like, oh, it takes 3 or 4 months. BS. Call your accountant and tell them, I need those returns back right now. I want to be the top of the pile. I want to get my tax returns back first. I know you have a list of people to get it back to. I want to be top of the list. What's it going to take? Because you need that data. You need that information. Don't wait 3 or 4 months for your accountant to get that back. Push everybody for more, faster, and better. Everybody you deal with, you should be asking them for more. You should be asking them to do better. You should be asking them to do it faster. Those are your rights as the owner of the business, because you're trying to run a business here, not a daycare, not a volunteer organization, not a charity. We're running a company, right? You promise to pay them for the work they do because you do good work, and they promise to do good work for you in a timely fashion, okay? You can see I'm getting a little fired up. I think I was a little too polite in that last episode, and I'm done with it. So you're getting firm, dog. Not angry, just firm. Come on. Who are you kidding? Time is up to you. If you don't control your time, the world is going to control your time. You're going to feel pushed around. All right. So choose your calendar, use your calendar. Let's move on to the next one. Use preset meetings in advance. But Dom, you don't understand. My clients call me at all hours of the day. They call me on weekends, so I can't keep track. And then they're unhappy. They say I don't communicate well. Okay. If that's the challenge, what's the solution? You can complain about it. If it's been going on for the last year, why haven't you fixed it? If this has been going on for the last 10 years, why haven't you fixed it? If this has been going on for the last 15 years and you're still wondering why you haven't managed to get this business into the $1 million range, or the multi-million dollar range, it's because you're not in control of the time. So here's what I'd like you to do. Use preset meetings in advance. So you start off a new job. Let's just say residential for the sake of it. And let's say we're painting houses for the sake of it. You're going to have your crew there, and you're going to be managing multiple crews. So you're going to say to Mr. and Mrs. Lopez, let's just say it's the Lopez family, hi, we're going to be starting your home on Tuesday. This is the crew that's going to show up. This is the process that we're going to follow. And Mr. and Mrs. Lopez, what I'd like to do is set an appointment with you every 2 days for us to have a 15-minute phone call starting at 4 o'clock and going till 4:15. Mr. Lopez says, well, I can't do it. I'm at work. And Mrs. Lopez says, well, I'm available. I can take that call. Great. Now what you've done is the Lopez family knows that you're going to have meetings with them for 15 minutes every, let's say, Tuesday and Wednesday while the job is in process from 4 o'clock to 4:15. So the Lopez family doesn't have to think, oh my God, we're not going to talk to the painter. I need to talk to the painter. And then they call you at all hours. They'll go on, we're going to talk to them tomorrow anyways at 4 o'clock. Leave our questions till then. You also know you're going to be talking to them at those times. This is very, very easy to do. Very easy to do, and it puts you in a control position. You know, the other thing that happens from that is the Lopez family talks to their neighbor and says, yeah, the guy painting our house, that crew, fantastic. They communicate well. They do what they say they're going to do. They keep their promises. Couldn't have found a better painter if we tried. And that neighbor says, you know what? I need my house painted. Maybe we'll call those guys. And then you show up at their house and you say the same thing. Hey, I'm going to talk to you on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 4:30 to 5 o'clock, 4:45. So 15-minute phone call. The customer just wants to know that they're being heard, and you want to have a preset time to talk to them. You have to be in control of your schedule. So use those preset meetings in advance. Now, for those of you who do commercial, tenant improvement, institutional or industrial work, you might say, well, Dom, that doesn't work in our industry. To which I will say, stop it. That's a load of crap. Of course it'll work. You go to the project manager or the site super on that place and you say, hi, my name's Dominic. I'm the guy that does we're the glaziers here. We're doing the windows. Let's set out a communication schedule. How often do you want to talk to me? And how often can I reach you for short 10-minute meetings? And that site super, that general contractor, that project manager is going to take a step back and go, wow, that's fantastic. You're the only subcontractor who ever asked me that. Why don't we just talk Mondays at some time? You say, great, Mondays is good. What time Monday? I don't know. I get in my job site at like 7 and I'm out of here by 5. Great. Looking at my calendar, I'm available to talk to you between 3 and 3:45 on Mondays. Why don't we set that as a meeting? I'll push that to you as a calendar invitation, and that way we both know it's there. We'll get on the phone for 2 minutes if we have nothing to talk about, and 10 minutes if there's something that we need to solve, plan, or get approved. How does that sound? And that site super, that GC, that project manager is going to think, wow, why can't everybody be like this crew that's doing our windows? Those guys are professional. They're on it. And guess what that site super, GC, and project manager does when they go back to their office at the big construction office that's just a project management company making millions of dollars off subcontractors? They're going to be having their meetings, and they're going to be talking to their boss saying, tell me how the subs are working out. And your guy, that site super, that PM, is going to say, I'll tell you what, the glass guy, dialed in, bolted down. We got to use this guy in every job in the future. They came to us and set out a communication schedule, and we follow that. They're very open to talk to. I always know where we're at, and yeah, he's a great guy. And you're going to get more bids. When 2 bids hit the table the next time you do it, they're going to look at that and say, well, look, here's Dom's glazing company that does windows. Let's go with them. We know that they'll do what they say they're going to do. They're on time. They're professional. Boom. One-time management tip and trick got you the best jobs and knocked out everybody else in the competition. How much did that tip cost you? Nothing. Maybe just a little bit of a ear beating from me, but that's it, right? So use preset meetings in advance. You ready to move on to the next thing for time management tips and tricks for millionaire construction owners? Here it is. How can you try to change your business if you don't have the foundations right? If you wanted to bake a cake and then said to me, Dom, I want to bake a cake, but I don't want to use any flour, then I would say, well, what are you making with eggs and sugar? I don't even know what that is, like a meringue or something. I don't know what it is. But you're not making a cake, so stop calling it a cake. If you're trying to run this business without managing your time, stop calling it a business. It's a hobby. You have a McJob. That's all you have. And that's why you're frustrated, because you can't get in control of things because you're having difficulty controlling your calendar. If you want to talk more about stuff like this, contact me. Go to the website, watch the video, see if you can apply, and talk to our crew about setting a 45-minute meeting with me. Maybe joining the Profit Tool Belt members group. The private group is for you because you'll talk more about the right foundations in your business. Or join the free Facebook group called Contractor Strategy Group. That's where we talk about these things as well. There's lots of opportunities available. Heck, buy the book, Construction Millionaire Secrets. Heck, don't buy the book. I don't care. Right now, the book's free plus shipping. I printed a whole bunch of copies, as you do. I had to print a bunch of copies to get the book done, obviously. So now I've got a bunch sitting here in my office. So they're free. All you have to do is pay shipping, which I think is totally fair. And then the book will get sent to you. My crew will take care of everything. But my point is, how can you build a business if you don't have the right foundations? If I came to you and said, hey, I want to build a house, you'd say, okay, Dom, well, let's sit down. Let's talk about the house. And you say, yeah. I really want to talk about the roof. You, as a construction professional, would say, well, shouldn't we talk about building the foundation first, the base? I'm like, yeah, don't worry about that. I'm sure it's fine. I really want to talk about the roof. You'd be like, well, where's the floor plan? Where are the blueprints? Yeah, no. I really love this roof. I want to use those new solar panels that Elon Musk was talking about. Okay, yeah. That's fine. The roof's almost one of the last things we put on this darn thing. Can we talk about the foundations first? We have to talk about the foundations, and time is a foundation for you. It has to be a foundation, right? You're going to figure that out. I also want you to do this. Have preset meetings with your team. So you might already be having a tailgate meeting with your team, but are you having it at the same time of day and the same day of week all the time? So you guys know it's called a rhythm, putting a rhythm in place in your business. I want you to have that rhythm. Put that rhythm in place. Preset meetings with yourself is the next thing. So here's one. If you start your day every day at 7 o'clock in the morning, why not change your start time? Instead of starting at 7, start at 7:15. But spend that first 15 minutes at your favorite coffee shop where you're just going to sit down with your book. For those of you who are watching the video, you can see me holding up a book. For those of you who aren't watching the video, I'm holding up a book. Just have a notebook that you write your notes. What do you want to accomplish today? What do you want to do today? What does your day look like? What's your list of actions? Who do you have to call? Who do you have to check up with? What are you going to say to the Lopez family when you talk to them today about their painting job, etc., right? So just spend 15 minutes doing that. The return on investment from that is through the friggin' roof. It's through the roof because you're running that business on purpose. So set meetings with yourself to do the important things. So you're already doing it if you're listening to this podcast. Thank you, by the way, for doing that. That's a meeting with yourself. You're looking forward to the show. You're looking forward to the podcast. You want to be part of a positive community of business owners who think, act, walk, talk the same way, that are success-minded. It's a very small group of people in this world. There's a lot of people out there who are just wandering in the darkness. And you've already chosen, if you listen to this show, you've chosen not to be one of those people. So preset that meeting with yourself. And you're saying, hey, I listen to Dom on the drive-in. I listen to Dom when I'm walking the dog. Whatever that is, that's a preset meeting with yourself. Keep that and take it seriously, okay? The next one here is stop making excuses. That's why I did this re-episode, this new version, this no BS version of this episode. By the way, I haven't really dropped too many bombs here. My cussing is pretty low. I apologize to those of you who don't like cussing at all, but I told you that in the beginning, so go pound sand. I already told you it was going to happen. I don't mean that. I'm actually too nice to even say that with a straight face. But listen, stop making excuses, okay? I don't like excuses, and I can see through them. It's just like when somebody that works for you gives you an excuse, and to them it sounds totally believable. You might have heard this say, hey, boss, sorry I'm late. They were working on the bridge today, and it made me late for work again. Geez, they've been working on that bridge for 3 months now, and it makes me late every day. How many times have you heard crap excuses like that from your team? And you're like, buddy, if they've been working on that bridge for 3 months and you know start time is 7 o'clock, leave earlier. Don't give me your crap excuses. And it's the same thing here. Stop making excuses. As you would expect, I have a business coach. Let me just talk about something else for a second. Don't trust a business coach that doesn't have their own business coach. Don't trust a financial advisor who doesn't invest. Don't go to a marriage counselor who's divorced, right? What are you doing? Think about that, right? So I have a business coach because I recognize that I can't see the barriers and the roadblocks I put in front of me. I chose this business coach very specifically. I mean, I've had business coaches for decades now, different coaches for years. You already heard me talk about Campbell Fraser, just a wonderful guy. He passed away about 3 years ago, and I miss him every day. He was such a great inspiration to me. And not an inspiring guy, he's a small, quiet man, but commanded presence in the room. And just, he was the picture of wisdom. And I admire wisdom over anything else. I crave wisdom. And wisdom to me doesn't mean being smart. It means being curious and thoughtful and direct. So I do miss Cam. I miss him forever. But I have a new coach now. And this guy is an ex-pro baseball player. And I'll tell you, in the world of taking excuses, he has got zero filter. If I'm about to lay out a line of crap that's filled with excuses and blame and negativity and denial, let me paint a picture for you. He doesn't actually do this, but he will reach up, bite off my head, chew down my neck, and look into my soul. But that's what I want from my business coach. I don't have time for BS. If I'm putting up my own barriers and roadblocks saying, well, this won't work because of this, this, or that, I don't want a business coach who says, oh, yeah, well, I get it, Tom. You know, it's too bad. The economy is a little bit tough right now. Or, yeah, you're too busy in the day to do that. No, that's crap. How can I and what if are the hallmarks of a great mentor. So when you're working with somebody, maybe you're working with me, watch for that. I'm going to be kind and, I say loving, and respectful, but I'm not going to take your crap. Join us on the private group. When if you ever decide to take a step and join the group coaching, you'll hear it. I'm nice about it. I have to be nice about it because I'm a student and a teacher. I'm learning just like you. We're all walking this path together. I can't pretend that I know more than you. I'm just more curious than most people. And I'm going to ask the questions, and I'm going to let you come up with the answers, and then I'm going to poke and prod until you get the right answer for you. And then I'm going to ask you to be held accountable to doing it. It's such a simple process, such a simple formula. You guys have heard me talk about Brian before. I mentioned him earlier in this podcast. Brian Tracy, again, one of those gurus. The guy, back in the 80s and the 90s, he was that guy that you would shut down the office for a day, take your crew, and go see him at the local convention center. Thousands of people would go see him speak. Well, Brian was my business partner in my last company. And Brian had a great saying about goals and time management and getting things done. And he says, time management and goal setting work. And they're just like a treadmill, just like your Stairmaster, just like your stationary bike. They work if you use them. But if all you do is hang your clothes on them, then you're not using them right. Of course you're not losing weight. Of course you don't feel better. Of course you're not healthy because your treadmill, your Stairmaster, your stationary bike is covered in clothes and crap. Clear that stuff off there and use the tool for what it's supposed to be. And I am the tool for, I know there's a bunch of jokes in there, but I'm the tool for working smarter, not harder. It might be a little uncomfortable at times. I try to put in as many laughs as I can, but God, come on, man. I got to tell you straight. Stop making friggin' excuses. I can see through it and other people can hear it. Stop it. Don't tell me time management won't work for you. It will. If you've chosen for time management not to work for you, never call me. I don't want to talk to you. You're a waste of my time, and you're a waste of time of the other people who are in the group coaching course. All you're going to do is hold us back, and I'm going to have a side conversation with you and let you go. I will tell you now, that's what will happen. If you do join that group and you become the person who's the anchor, no, the anchor is a good thing. If you become the rock that's holding everybody back, I'll just have a side conversation with you and ask you to leave. Tell you to leave. That's what's going to happen. So stop making excuses. Now, it's okay every once in a while for a redirect and a correct. I take them too. If you hear me doing something wrong, or if you don't agree with something that I've said in a coaching meeting, call me up. Let's have a side conversation about it, for sure. Back and forth discussion, always welcome. But if you're just going to make excuses and not do anything with what you've learned, you're probably going to need to go find something else. Maybe go read children's books or something, but don't talk to me and don't waste the time of the other business owners who are on that call. All right, here's the other thing I want you to do. Check your calendar 3 times a day. So your calendar's on your phone. Let's all assume, for the sake of it, because we're in this century, All you got to do is check your calendar 3 times a day. Make sure you're doing what you need to do, right? Right now it's 26 minutes after the hour, and I know I have another conference call coming up at 30 minutes after the hour. So folks, this podcast is about to end, right? I just have a calendar and I take it seriously. Check your calendar 3 times a day. Here's a tip that some of you might not be doing that's going to save you a ton of time. This one might sound a little bit funny. I want you to start your meetings by announcing the end of the meeting. So I'm meeting with you and your name is Jeff. And our meeting is at 8:30. I'm going to say, Jeff, thanks for our meeting. It's 8:30 now. Are you good to talk until 9 o'clock? And Jeff will say, yeah, okay. So our meeting is going to be done at 9 o'clock. Good? Yep, good. So now Jeff and I both know this meeting is a half hour long and it's going to be done at 9 o'clock. I mean, it might go to 9:02 if it needs to, or we're going to reschedule and add on a meeting, but it's not going to go to 10 or 10:30. We announced the end of the meeting at the beginning of the meeting. All right. The next point on that is use an agenda to keep all of your meetings on track. And you're going to say, Dom, I don't know what kind of agenda to have. How do I put an agenda in place? And I don't want to type it out and print it out and have it for everybody. Well, you don't need to, because there's one master agenda that I can tell you right now here that's going to help you out. The agenda always follows these general steps. Now, you can customize it, but if you're ever stuck for an agenda, here's the points to a winning agenda to get stuff done in a meeting. A no BS meeting with high accountability and great communications. Meetings start with, obviously everybody saying hi and greetings and getting there on time. You have to be on time for meetings with me. I don't accept late. Late is late, and late is for losers, okay? There is only one thing, and that is on time. And that's because I take time serious. I get burned up about time, as you can tell. I'm doing a whole podcast on it. Actually, this is my second one on Millionaire tips and tricks for construction millionaires, right here. But anyways, use an agenda for those meetings. So here it is. Meeting starts on time. We start off with the numbers. The very first agenda item is numbers. And I can tell you why is because numbers removes the BS of stories. If you start your meetings with people telling stories about what's going on, how their department's doing, what's going on in this project, all you're going to hear is stories. I don't want stories. I want numbers. We are almost finished the outside walls. Let's say you're a framing contractor. We've got another 1,000 square feet of outside walls. That'll take us another 2 hours, and whatever it is, right? You're doing outside walls, so you're doing big panels at a time. I don't know what the number is, but get the numbers out of the way first. So first agenda item is numbers. Everybody in the meeting has to report some sort of number to you as the owner or the leader. The next agenda item is a simple topic, what's up? So what's going on? So just ask everybody. You go around one at a time and say, Jeff, what's up? George, what's up? Susan, what's up? Caroline, what's up? Now they have 30 seconds or less to tell you what's up, because I don't need a lot of crap. Just give me the high points. Talking to the supplier today about the returns. There was a broken pallet that came in. I have to get that fixed. This guy's saying, Freddie didn't show up for work. I have to have a conversation with him. So and so and so and so on. So everybody gives you their updates. 30 seconds or less. Boom, 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 boom. Okay? So far we've done numbers, and then we've done what's up. Now we're going to go around the room and say, where are you stuck? Freddie, where are you stuck? Caroline, where are you stuck? George, where are you stuck? And they're going to tell you where they're stuck. Now, this is an important part of leading a meeting and making sure it happens on time. When a side conversation starts, Caroline just said that we got an order in, or there was a delivery and the pallet was broken, so our product was broken and the housing was damaged. Now Caroline and George are in a side conversation about how bad that supplier is. We've had this trouble before. This is where you as the owner step in and say, hey guys, hang on a second. Really good point. Caroline and George, what I'd like you guys to do is right after this meeting, can you guys stay here and figure out what needs to happen? And they both say yes and say, great, let's move on. So Caroline and George have now given their updates, and you keep moving around. So far we've done numbers, we've done what's up, we've done where are we stuck, and then you say conclusions and actions. So what did we learn today, and what are we going to do? Caroline, what are you going to do? George, what are you going to do? Jeff, what are you going to do? So and so and so. And that's the end of the meeting. So that's the agenda for every meeting that you're going to have. Heck, that's the agenda for the one-on-one coaching meetings I have with like the bigger companies. It's the same agenda all the time, all right? The other one I want you to do is if you're stuck, if you still need motivation, if you haven't done it, buy the Construction Millionaire Secrets book. I'll hold it up. While I have a bunch of copies in the office, they're free. It's free. Pay shipping, but it's free. after I run out of these copies, then you're going to buy them on Amazon for 20 bucks each, and you'll be one day you'll be like, I should have bought a copy. Just buy a copy so you can read it in the bathroom. I don't know what's going on, but I keep getting pictures. I've gotten 3 or 4 pictures now from people who are reading that book in the bathroom. Now, I'm sure lots of people do it, but for some reason, people are sending me pictures of that, which is fine. I actually like that. All right, guys. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you soon. Hope you enjoyed this episode and had a lot of takeaways. Thanks. Bye.